Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the monsters of the Midway, the Chicago Bears, and the Baltimore Ravens. With that, let's get up to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. There to call all the action. We welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Chicago Bears. Brandon Godden and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. Leading them out at QB is the former North Carolina Tar Heel, Mitchell Trubisky. Now Trubisky on first down and incomplete to open things up. And Charles, now we get our first look at this offense.
And one guy you have to look at in particular is Kyle Long. Can play guard or tackle with a nice degree of nastiness.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. The starters now defensively for Baltimore.
And free safety Earl Thomas has a list of accomplishments as long as anyone's arm. But the thing I think about with him at all times, no matter what happens in front of him on the defensive end of the ball, he's back there to erase any mistakes that happen. The top guy in the league, as far as I'm concerned, in that category.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Out of the gun, Trubisky. He may try and run for this. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
180! It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
First carry now for David Montgomery. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Watch your slap. Watch your slap.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. That's one where you probably give the ball carrier a bit of a mulligan, right?
Yeah.
I mean, where was he going to go there?
Yeah, you could almost see his brain turning over from our perspective. Just put your foot in the ground and go, except there was no place to put his foot in the ground, and there was no place to go. No room to roam.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
So 1st and 2nd down went the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. From the gun, it's Trubisky. He'll buy some time right. Now Trubisky lost the football. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And this won't get there, won't be on line either. It's no good, off to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over, and it's a big kick, but now if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's 1st down from the 42. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. First down, a run with Cohen. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
All right, Brad, I know we're in early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Trubisky to throw. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
On first down, Cohen. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Completes it to Miller. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. But it'll be 2nd and goal. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll run forward with Montgomery. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A 3-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. That time a 6-play drive. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away.
That's just flat out a terrific play because it's rare that you see a hitch route batted down. That means someone read that one really well and was right on the spot when the ball got to the receiver.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Big series right here. We got
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson stepping up. He's going to keep it. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start with a give to Cohen. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Trubisky gives to Cohen, and an alley to run. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 1st down for the Bears, a gain of 15. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
First down, here's the run to Montgomery. Takes to midfield, but no further, just a yard there.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. 3rd down here. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. Open man is Miller. He's got it. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 14 yards and a Chicago 1st down.
180. Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day, all day.
A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to keep it here. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taking off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
40. 180. Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Tell me what you got. What you got, Heavy?
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown.
Great job, man.
A 10-yard touchdown run as the Bears push further out in front. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Jackson now off the bootleg. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
Now, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
I'm coming. Watch the safety.
They go play action now. Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. Pretty effective opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the touchdown run earlier, and if he pops more of these 10 to 20-yard carries, could be a long game.
Yeah, those types of explosive runs wear down a defense. I think they need to add more people to the box, closer to the line of scrimmage, force them to throw the football, and see if they can slow them down that way.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing here, Trubisky. His throw incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
On 2nd down, it's Montgomery. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Here's Trubisky. And that will be incomplete.
That's it, baby.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep is DeAnthony Thomas. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4, and at the 20. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Tighten down. There you go.
Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Now on 2nd and 16, Trubisky, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to him because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Here's Trubisky to throw. And that is incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. Returnable for Thomas. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Mark Ingram now gears up to help lead this offense back out there. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Jackson from the shotgun. He's got his man. It's Andrews. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They run from the pistol with Ingram, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Ravens on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Jackson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Sam Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Now with shotgun handoff to Cohen. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He has not had the game that he envisioned. His team has not had the game that they've envisioned here. So how do they turn this around now?
Well, right now what he's looking forward to doing is finding a way to get the added weight on his back. Is it like that monkey that Steve Young was talking about? Remember that in the Super Bowl?
Oh, the 95 Super Bowl.
Right, when they beat the Chargers, and, you know, he had that weight of expectations and past greats on his back. In this case, it's just bad play. Can he shake it off and then be able to play loose and free and help his team out?
Let's see if he can do just that. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Jackson. He's going to find his tight end Boyle. And he'll get nothing out of that one. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still,
No
no
yards.
yardage. Okay.
Tighten up, tighten up.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bears take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. On the ground, it's Montgomery. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd down now, it's Cohen. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now it's Trubisky. The screen pass here to Cohen. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Now, still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down.
On the counter, Ingram. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Let's go one more. 25, check 25, check 25.
On 2nd down, Ingram. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
He's going deep for Brown. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Sam Cook now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Nifty move. On the return is Cohen. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Out of the gun, Trubisky. This one into the hands of Burton. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. He's got his tight end, Burton. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
I feel for some of these guys nowadays because it is so tough to be able to run with these tight ends. Their speed, their elusiveness, especially when they run across the field, because you're not just running with him, you're trying to run through some traffic as well.
Trubisky now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now Trubisky on 1st down. He'll run it. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. They go play action. Trubisky. That's complete to the tight end, Broniker. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 7 yards there and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They'll run on first down. Montgomery slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers, he's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Draw play here. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times and 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Robinson's got it. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now, second quarter, you're losing, you're not playing well. Probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust the weight? How do they make it work for them? How do they work against it? That's what we're going to find out going forward.
Yeah, he'll be trying to get all that weight off his shoulders here on this drive. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And give him 9 yards on the second down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still ended up with a solid game.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing is Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Sam Cook now. He's been terrific so far. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. This offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. I'm sure he wanted to have a huge game, wants to have a huge game as the quarterback, but really on the ground, they've been very, very hard to stop. Maybe you just keep going to that well.
I think so, and isn't it funny how the definition of balance changes for us from game to game? Sometimes it's 50-50, run it, throw it. Sometimes it's just being a balanced running team in terms of who's carrying the football.
More than one guy.
Right, multiple guys out there, and now your guy back there has to throw it. Don't have to worry about it quite as much.
And they've got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. 14 yards into Chicago, 1st down.
First down, Bears.
On the draw, this is Cohen. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Draw play, Cohen. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Now it's Trubisky. He's got Burton here. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. Two 1st downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky. They'll roll him out right. And now he's going to use his legs. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
To throw again on 2nd down. Trubisky connecting with Burton here over the middle. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half. midfield now. Here's Trubisky. It's complete. Javon wins the open man. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 27-yard line.
First down, Chicago.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this third quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And the third quarter starts with a run by Ingram. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Again, they'll run with Ingram. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They run. It's Mark Ingram. Ingram churning. He lost the football. Well, call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
On 1st down, it's Montgomery. Showed some flash on the run, but he will be brought down shy of his 10. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to pump the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Trubisky, and his throw is incomplete.
He has just not had his focus in this game. It's not one drop. It's not two. That's 3 for this contest.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for any NFL receiver, and he's no exception. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Throwing here, Trubisky. Finding Gabriel, complete. And he will have the first down as he's up to his 17-yard line. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down.
But we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the first down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
They go play action with Trubisky. And this is incomplete. He was trying to find Anthony Miller there. That'll bring up 2nd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
On 2nd down, it's Montgomery. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, Trubisky. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Here's Thomas. And Thomas seems to be in some pain. He's still on the ground. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Check pass. Check pass.
On 2nd down now, it's Ingram, and he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory.
Getting out a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Jackson now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. This is Ingram. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now Jackson. They go screen. This is Ingram. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Tucker's kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They begin the drive on the ground with Cohen. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Early down steps to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it.
Here's Trubisky. And his throw's going to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Trubisky to throw. He'll buy some time right. He may try and run for this. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it. But
they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. This will be fielded at the 17. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll try to get the ground game going with Ingram. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Jackson. He can run for it, and he will. 5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rounding, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
On 2nd down and 4, Trubisky throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. But now it'll be 3rd down. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. And it would appear he's going to be short of a 1st down as he stopped right around the 29. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the 1st down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago.
fielded at the 20. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Now Ingram, he's been busy today. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
And now he'll tuck it and run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Jackson now. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down.
1st downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Big stop, let's go.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss.
Here we go, here we go. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson out to his left. He's going to take off with it. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Pick it up, D.
From the gun, Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
A 44-yard attempt.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe it's simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On the carry, it's Montgomery. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. That's complete to Robinson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. On 2nd down, Montgomery. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on 3rd. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's Jackson to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They need a touchdown, the two-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. To throw is Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
On third down, Jackson. It's complete to Snead. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. That was off kilter. Offense up front, everyone was just kind of out of sync.
Well, from my perspective, that certainly looked like the defense just destroyed that play, absolutely just took it over.
All right, so I'm going to revamp what I said. The defense was in sync. How about that?
Oh, I like that one.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
From the shotgun is Trubisky, and his throw here is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Trubisky to throw. He may try and run for this. He's got a first down past the 30. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the fourth. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Here's Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he loses the football a second time. And this is picked up by the Bears.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. To Montgomery to begin the drive. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take a win home.
Now it's Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Trubisky will throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky going to let one fly for Robinson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Oh, able to avoid him. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Off the play fake. Here's Trubisky. Sliding it. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Stay with your man.
Now it's Trubisky. His throw incomplete. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Throwing here, Trubisky. Finding Gabriel, complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on 1st down. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They go play action. Trubisky. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Matt Judon picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Now Trubisky on 3rd and long, rolling to his right. He can run for it, and he will. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. 1st down, a run with Cohen. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as the Bears push further out in front. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that 3rd touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it's Jackson. They go screen. This is Ingram. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, and now it's 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Well, that'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Mike, 58, right there. Coming to you, coming to you. Check 99, check 99.
Now Jackson on first down. Snead's got it. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Jackson will throw again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 39. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now Jackson stepping up. He's going to keep it. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this one? Both of these guys running the ball well.
Yeah, they mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Now it's Ingram, and he loses the football a second time. But it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
From the 16, Jackson caught by Snead over the middle. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Jackson to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Nick Boyle there to make the grab, and the Ravens get a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like,
yeah,
you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes it 24-13. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Looky here, Trubisky wants to throw it. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Throwing again on 2nd down. Trubisky, he finds Robinson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
Shut up! 180!
And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go. And Trubisky down to a knee, and that is all she wrote. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Baltimore, so long, everybody.